is Sodium Systems LLC. We have an office in York, Pennsylvania, near Baltimore, and an office here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. We service dentists all over the world for sensor repair and IT support. But for our domestic clients, we sell digital X-ray sensors that we manufacture, digital panos, 3D cone beams, tube heads, intraoral cameras, computer systems networks to dentists across the United States. So myself and my business partner, Jake Scheiterlein, are the original founders of Sodium Dental. We both worked for a very long time in the dental industry, 2004 to 2010, in basically every position we could hold at a IT company or dental technology company. So IT support, technology sales, training, and installation. And we learned about as much from other companies as we could. And then we discovered we kind of had a different view of how dental technology should be provided to dental offices. So in 2011, we started Sodium Systems LLC. And of course, it is a name that intentionally doesn't implicitly say anything we do. And that's because we always knew we needed to leave our company the flexibility to move with the industry we wanted to provide for. And whereas things like patient education servers that provided videos to dental offices and entertainment to the screens in dental offices was one of our very first products, Smile Cinema. With the onset of Netflix being so readily available, that product is no longer as valuable to dentists. So, we couldn't have a name like, Smile Cinema or something like that. We needed a general name for the company so that we could serve a broad need base in the dental technology industry.
Shawn, welcome to our conversations today. So thank you for that introduction of who you are and how you started. If I can, let me ask you, what got you into the field of dental technology for dental offices? Because when I met you, you were working with another company. So tell us that lead in again. Just tell us how you morphed into what you're doing.
Well, I think me and Jake, my partner, we grew up with computers. And by that, I don't mean like we always had computers. I mean that computers were babies when we were babies. So we watched computers go from being only able to provide you text on a screen or loading up a CD that allowed you to read the encyclopedia to now I can plug in a 3D scanner, scan something, create a model, then print that model in 3D to be a live working part or device, all from a home computer. So both of us were really excited to work with technology, but I could say the reason why we work in dental technology specifically is because we have a direct line to our customers who we are going to use our products and solutions to run a business, to help them run their business and to care for their patients. So coming from other areas of technology like automotive or aeronautics, where I could have gone, you work on a part with 50 other people and you might see it in a plane 10 years from now. In dental technology, we can develop a new product and literally see it in use in a year. And that's just uniquely exciting.
Work with your customers. I mean, you get to, when I say work with your customers, I mean, you get to work with dentists. So you get,
right,
whether you like it or not, you get kind of daily feedback of how you're working.
Right. It's like we have a direct pipeline between whether or not what we're doing is benefiting them. Yeah. And if it's not, you're going to know about it that day, So.
Yeah. But the good news is it is benefiting about it because we hear about it a lot, that you're doing a great job. Let me ask you this. Tell us about your philosophy. And the only reason I ask that is almost every company behind it has a philosophy of something. So tell me your philosophy and how did you guys get there? Lots of times guys have a philosophy before they even really start a company.
Yeah, I think when we did our original LLC paperwork, you had to have a mission statement. And back then, I don't think we really knew what our mission was, or were pretty unable to articulate it. But throughout the years of actually doing what we do, I think we've learned that our philosophy is really simple in that everything we sell has to be useful immediately for our clients. So we strive to ensure that we are not just selling products, but we are also providing the training and implementation to make sure that the office is immediately making use of our product or solution. So I firmly believe that if you sell something, you need to be able to show up in your client's office in 6 months and see that what you sold is in use and actively benefiting them. And so we feel like our clients are investing in tools that should be a constant and ongoing benefit to their practice. So, that's our philosophy in a nutshell is if you sell something and they aren't using and being benefited from it, then you as the company are the one that failed.
All right. So let me ask you this. None of us, I've been doing this. This is my 37th year, starting on April 1st. None of us could have ever predicted the impact that COVID-19 would have on sterilization, infection control protocols, PPE requirements. How has that impacted everything you're doing? And how is that impacting also the technology business? So I realize that's kind of two questions, but let me throw them at you.
Yeah. I would say our first reaction at the start of COVID was we had to stay open because we have customers that were seeing emergency care patients and they needed sensors, they needed repair, they need their computers to work. But obviously at the same time, most of our customers aren't working. And so the first thing we did was we looked at the fact that a lot of them weren't working because they couldn't get masks initially. So we had hookups with companies in Japan, and we were able to initially get KN95 masks that were US laboratory tested. And then now we've been able to get them tested by the MPPTL and get those out to our customers so they could at least go to work. And then our next step was we put together some intentional like YouTube sterilization videos, because dental offices are really good at sterilizing dental products, of course. They know how to keep a clean room. Dentists are actually really great at sterilization, which is why there isn't like a dental office outbreak anywhere. But the keyboards and the mice and cameras and stuff like that, they're relatively new additions, and most dental schools aren't really training on how to keep cross-contamination off of your mouse. So we put out some videos, some education on the cheapest way to get a really great sterilization for a keyboard is the bag that you can slip over the head of your dental chair fits great over a keyboard. Put it over there. And we went over how to get it off the keyboard, at the end of the visit, and keep the keyboard clean while you're, don't take it off, put it on a dirty counter. So sterilization techniques for the things that we knew would impact people. And then the final thing we really did that was a big thing for us was we realized that no digital x-ray sensor warranty covered a sensor being wiped down with Cavicide, because they just say, well, a sensor's in a barrier shield, you shouldn't have to wipe it. And the reason why they don't cover it is because Cavicide eats the plastic. But we realized that with COVID-19 going around, just because you're using a barrier shield, that's not enough. People are penetrating the barrier shield, with their teeth. You need to be able to wipe the sensor down once a day. So we went back and reprinted all of our warranties to now actually cover the sensor being wiped down with Cavicide. We still try and advise doctors on the best way to do it. A damp cloth, wipe the sensor, but don't just douse it in Cavicide. You're going to really shorten its life. But it was important to us that the dentist not be punished for doing something they probably needed to do to increase patient safety.
Tell me about this in terms of before we move on to the next topic. These YouTube videos, when people go to your website, are there links right there to those YouTube videos?
We don't keep our YouTube link up at the top of our website, but what we do is every YouTube video we make, because we realize a lot of dentists don't have time or maybe just are not in a position to listen to me talk. So every time we make a YouTube video, our blog is right on our website. On the first page, you'll see our most recent news articles. And our news articles are our blog. And so every time we do a YouTube video, we basically take the context of that video, turn it into a blog, and then also put the video in the blog. So if, by description of reading, you can get it, then you get it. If not, you can watch the video and get it. So we do right from our home webpage, we direct people to our blog. And then from there, they'll get all of our most recent videos and so on by, and then once they're on our YouTube channel, we hope that they like and subscribe and follow us. But we also
This then, um, one of the biggest changes that's occurred in my career is have been in the last 10 to 15, maybe 20 years. And that is that dentists used to have to worry about equipment. And then equipment would mean mostly chairs. Could mean x-ray heads, but let's just say chairs. And then they had to worry about smaller equipment, hand pieces. And then they had to worry about materials. But really in the last 10 to 15 years, even 20 years, they've had to become proficient on technology, and now they have to worry about technology. And the number one, Colleen, it's not a complaint, but the number one worry that I see that a lot of dentists have is that they're not keeping up to date on technology. How can you guys help them with that?
You know, we understand that right now people are kind of scared of the future and are concerned about doing anything except basically keeping the ship afloat, and patching what they already have. And there's just such a wide range of dental technology, and being educated about what is available and making the right choices can greatly benefit a dental practice. But like they almost need an incentive to understand like why they should invest their time in it right now. So I would say, like, for instance, right now we have a dental office that are they're using our high quality intraoral camera, but it's a pretty inexpensive intraoral camera in the market, like $1,000 camera. Most of them are $3,000 to $4,000. But the way they're using it, I didn't expect them to be using it, but what they're doing is they're literally using the intraoral camera, having their hygienist take like 40 pictures of the mouth. And the dentist is doing this to be able to augment the patient experience, so that instead of coming in and doing a visual exam and spending all that time creating additional risk for the patient, another person in the room very close to them, they're using the camera exam for their visual exam. The dentist is just in another room looking at it. So if he wants to poke something, he can pop in there and poke something. But he's trying to increase his patient's comfort, because with every additional person in the room, maybe they're feeling more concern with COVID right now and so on. So, they're using intraoral cameras right now to do remote exams. And education is important because that doctor's doing it for $1,000 a camera and getting what they want out of it. But they could have just as easily spent $5,000 a camera. And it's a big amount of money for things that only last 3 years. And these are reoccurring expenses. So, so that's like, that's an aspect of education that would be very beneficial for them to know about. But, there's other things that, especially right now, even though people are trying to keep the ship afloat, we want chairs and countertops, and we need to get our hygienists to be able to come to work safely and so on. The other thing is people are out of the office 3, 4, 5 days a week now. Maybe they're only opening up for 2 days. And our concern right now is maybe when you're in the office 5 days a week, if your server starts screwing up, you notice it right away because your practice management, your Dentrix starts running terribly. You call up your IT guy and you're getting it fixed. But when you're out of the office 5 days a week, and a lot of times you're leaving your servers running at that time, you may have a hard drive that's failing and you're not there to notice it. Kind of like when you leave your vacation home, you're not there to notice that your hot water heater failed and is now leaking water all over your basement. So, now more than ever, it's important to have really high quality dental backups, and to know that you don't need to spend any money on your server or anything, but you need a good backup so that if your server does, take a dive, you didn't just lose your entire practice. So that's another big aspect right now that I hope will motivate a desire to, come to us, come to our blog, find more information on technology, or just go out there and spend a little time reading about it. And for me, it's the biggest aspect is some of these purchases can be really huge. 3D cone beams, you can spend $160,000, you can spend $80,000. And if you talk to really big $7 billion supply companies, they're going to tell you that buying the $85,000 cone beam is like, I don't know, like not even caring about your patients or something. They kind of like the aspect of like, oh, that there's no way that, that Ford Taurus can get you to work. You absolutely need a 750i BMW. There's no way the Taurus can get you there. But the truth is the Taurus can get you there. And as far as driving to and from work, it's just as good as the other car. And so for us with practices having a more, let's just say right now they feel like they have a more volatile future. It's more important now to look at these things that aren't sexy. It's not sexy to shop around for a cone beam. It's not sexy to have to talk to, multiple different companies about these things. I mean, it's more fun even to plan your countertops for your office than it is to pick out different sensors, because countertops are cool. People like looking at them. I mean, it's nice. It's like you pick out a nice countertop, it's going to look nice. But when you're talking about these really big numbers, when you're talking about potentially $80,000 on a unit that's going to last 4 years, like that's 80 grand every 4 years that you could be up spending. And that could cut into whether or not it's even profitable for you to be doing the implants that you bought the unit to be able to do. So for us, like we're trying to get that word out that it's not just about learning about it for the sake of, I think a lot of people think that when you're trying to educate them about something, you're trying to encourage them to buy something new. And in most cases, we think they're already going to buy these things. But our fear is that they're going to end up purchasing, let's just say all their shoes are going to be from Prada, even the ones they're painting their house in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nice to have a nice pair of dress shoes and from a fancy designer that you spend a little bit of money on, but for the shoes that you walk your dog in, maybe it's better to just have something that's comfortable and gets the job done and saves your pocket like $1,000. So
Do you guys have a way of doing a technology audit for doctors where you could come in and tell them, because you've referred to a couple of things here, like you may have a problem here that you don't even know you have. Do you guys have a way of doing a technology audit for doctors and helping them to realize, like what would you say to the person who doesn't even know that he doesn't know that he has a problem?
I think it's a big thing that we do, and we try and do it. We have a backup checkup, for instance, which is like a multiple point checkup for offices where we check out their server, we check out their backup. So we have a few different proactive products that we sell, where whether it be a HIPAA risk assessment or backup checkups or a technology checkup, but we also, just in general, whenever we do any work for anybody, one of our first things we do is look to see, is there root problems we also need to be addressing? And then as a general thing, especially, at Paragon events, we have a product specifically related to Paragon and some other, then we've run it as specials on occasion, which is a technology checkup. We come into your office, we look at everything you got, we look at your digital x-ray imaging software, we look at your servers, we look at your computers, we tell you everything that's out of date, illegal to be using, everything that's, and then we try and also lay out like, okay, so you've got this software, just so here's 15 different sensor manufacturers you can use in the future. Don't think you have to keep buying the same stuff. And we try and give them the total rollout on what they can do. We actually do call that our technology checkup. And you usually give us an hour in your office and we can figure out what you have, lay it out for you, and then at least have some options for you. And we don't end any of these conversations with a sales pitch. Here's your technology review. Now it's up to you to do something with it. It's more like it's like when you go to buy a new house and you get the what is that called? You have to get the appraisal and you have to get the inspection. And the inspector comes out, tells you everything that's wrong with the house. He doesn't fix any of it for you or offer to, but he lets you know. And so when we do our technology checkups, we try and keep it on that aspect. We let you know the truth about what you have, and if you want solutions, we'll offer them. But we realize that a lot of times people just really want some knowledge, and so they can make good decisions in the future.
All right. So let me ask you this. So many products, support, training, resources. what is the biggest challenge you have to get dentists to understand everything that Sodium has to offer? Kind of the Sodium experience, if you will.
I would say for us, we try it. We have a front door to our company, and our front door is right now is something that's very new for us, which is we started doing sensor manufacturing in 2018. Well, at least we started in 2017. We brought our sensor to market at the end of 2018. And we did that because we've repaired about 10,000 sensors. And after you repair about 10,000 sensors successfully, you learn what everybody else is doing wrong. So our front door to our company is our Aurora intraoral sensor. And with COVID coming around, and we found people wanting this greater deal of flexibility in their dental practice, we started something we cutely have called the versatile intraoral plan, or the VIP plan. And basically it's $145 a month to have a sensor. And then our idea is you commit to 1 year with it, but the goal being that, right now, maybe you have 3 hygienists working full time. You need 4 sensors because you got 3 hygienists, you got a doctor, you need 4 sensors. But maybe you don't want to commit to financing 4 $10,000 sensors. So, but you've got the business. You don't want to handicap your ability to meet that need by not having sensors for your hygienists. You don't want to slow down your rooms. So our whole concept is that you rent these sensors from us. And if a year down the road, you change your practice around, maybe you're not running as much hygiene, then just stop renting one. It just comes off your books. And instead of like having this long-term financing.
Rent for per month, $145?
Oh, yeah, it's $145 a month.
Yeah, so for 4 of them, that's $580. So
right.
It's slightly over $6,000 a year while you're getting used to this, as opposed to outlaying $40,000 right up front.
Right. And
am I saying that right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And our concept is that in reality, our sensor has a 5-year warranty and it's $9,200. So if you're a super, so our 5-year warranty means it's going to work for 5 years no matter what. So it is true that most doctors could get financing and they could have a lower monthly payment than even $145 a month if they bought them. So, but we have to have this flexibility because not everybody is certain they're going to need, $40,000 worth of sensors, and they're willing to, for them, it's like, if I have to pay, if I'm paying $20 more a month than I could if I bought, it gives me peace of mind that I have the freedom to up the number or decrease the number without, a huge guaranteed loan. So.
Okay. What is the one thing that you would want people to know about Sodium, or that people should walk away with from this extended interview here? What's the one thing everyone should know about Sodium, or that you would want them to know about your process and your products?
I would say if there was just one thing I'd like everybody to, be able to truly take away from this, to be able to, understand, like, from our hearts, like, who we are as a company. It's the concept that no matter what we do, if we didn't succeed at doing it, if I had a service guy spend 6 hours trying to fix something and he didn't fix it, I can't even bill for it, because I can't feel in my heart that if we haven't done something, then I can't be rewarded for it. So that's us in a nutshell as a company. And we also, everybody in the company understands the concept that you go into every situation with your eyes wide open. So if you go in to fix something or to sell something, you need to ask questions like, what led you to wanting to purchase this? What led you to needing this fixed? And we ask those questions because just because you want to buy something doesn't mean that's what I'm going to sell to you. Because you may think you need a brand new server, but maybe what you really need is a better network. And even though the better network's cheaper, I'm not going to sell the thing that 3 months later didn't solve what you really wanted fixed. And I don't expect the doctors to be experts at technology to where they can tell me, I'm hoping I want them to tell me what hurts. And then we want to tell them how to make it stop hurting. We don't want them to have to tell us, well, my femur is fractured. That's our job to find out.
Okay. So by this time, somebody's got to be saying, so how do I get a hold of you guys? So do you have a 1-800 number? Do you have a website? Do you have personal phone numbers they should contact you? Go ahead and share that with us.
Absolutely. The best ways to contact us are always based on how people like to do business. So our 800 number is 1-800-821-8962. You call us, just tell us what you're looking for. You'll get directed to the right person right away. You don't have to know who you're calling. You just tell us what hurts. We'll figure it out. Go to sodiumdental.com, our website. You can learn a lot about us. You can chat with us up till 8 p.m. at night right on the website. If you don't have time to be on the phone, use our chat. If you don't have time to be on the phone and you don't have time to use our chat before 8 p.m., then email us, sales@sodiumdental.com. I got to tell you, I get all the emails for the whole company because I have decided to make my inbox a dumpster fire. And I have been known to respond at 2 a.m. on a Saturday if I see my server is burning down and my office is on fire. So, those are the 3 best routes to get to us. You go to sodiumdental.com, you're going to get a great access to a lot of information about us, plus a live chat. You call us up, we're going to take care of you right away. We don't have, we have our hold time is about 62 seconds. So, you're not going to sit for long. So even if you've got 10 minutes before you got to go into the next patient, call us while it's broken, call us while it hurts. We'll get it taken care of. And then for those of you that are like me that just love email us. We're great email communicators. And if you like email, tell us, because we will communicate by email. Like, sometimes you email a place and then they call you and you're like, well, I can't take a phone call right now. That's why I'm emailing you. Like, we understand that. We're going to work with you in the fashion that best suits your needs for the customer relationship.
So they could call you, they can text you, or they can go ahead and just email you. And you're there. If they're calling on a daily basis, somebody's manning the phones till 8 o'clock Eastern every night, correct?
That's right. So we're 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we stay open later because we do have quite a few West Coast customers. So our California customers, if we're not open till then, they have a little more trouble accessing us. So that's, we're here for you. And that, so reach us out in the best way that works for you. And then as a company, once you're in contact with us, we do installations on the weekends. We do installations overnight. We do the installations when they fit into the practice schedule. So our hours are the hours that someone's sitting here answering phones, but the reality is we're working all the time.
Well, I should tell you, one of the things I've been thrilled about is to watch you, because I knew you when you worked for another company. And I remember when you talked to me and you said, Ken, I'm going to start this. And I said, well, go for it. And I've watched you and the company just grow and transition. I don't know if it's beyond your wildest dreams, but it's certainly beyond my wildest expectations. So I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of what you've done. And I'm really proud of the fact you guys have put a stake in the ground. And when I say stake in the ground, you're very committed to, we always do the right thing for our clients. We put our clients ahead of ourselves. And that's really thrilling.